Talking to people over in Asia, obviously you've been over there more recently. I'm hoping to catch a few people while I'm here now, but they were saying that some of the factories closed a bit earlier than they normally would for the Lunar New Year holidays and might open a bit later. And one, what was it? Did he say it was going to be a rate bloodbath this year, or was it murder on the dance floor at TPM or something like that? But irrespective of Suez, his view was that we're looking at a really bearish rates environment, and that's going to drag down these contracts. I have to say, this person was from the ship side of this equation, so
Right. That's what they expect. I don't necessarily think. I mean, I've seen rates, some bullet rates down to in the twos, and spot rates just above three. I mean, in the last couple of days, so rates have come down. The question is how much, and the game isn't over. So keep in mind that they're still above what the contract rates are, and right now they're not thinking about the spot rates. They're thinking about what they're going to get in their contracts. And, that's going to play out in the next 2 to 3 months. So by May 1st, everybody's going to have their contracts done. Then it's game on for spot rates. So I don't think it's necessarily, you can say it's bearish. It's going to be supply and demand. Shippers are going to think back, years and years and years and think it's all the same. But I don't see it as being that way.
John, you mentioned, obviously every year it's important for shippers to get that commitment or that sense that they're going to be able to load when they want. But it does feel like increasingly as there's more things thrown at them, that need only increases. Do you expect to see any changes in service contracting that kind of try to build in those commitments? I think in past cycles we saw like two-tier of rates as another way to access capacity at a slightly higher or at a higher rate.
I think you might have this is your rate, but if you want to guarantee, this is the rate. And I think that right now that's the focus, I think, of anybody that's contracting. It's not just about rate. It's okay, I've got a rate, but one, am I going to get the space for that rate? And two, is a PSS going to apply? Those are the two things I think that are really important. And I think the carriers are starting to move now towards allocation by string of vessels. I mean, they've been doing that, but you're going to have to be, if you're coming into, say, Chicago, you might have a different rate going through LA than you do through Tacoma, than you do through Prince Rupert. So I think they split things out that way. And then, you've got a choice, but that rate is going to be dependent upon what discharge port you use.
That's interesting. I mean, that's a very interesting development if they're kind of differentiating more in terms of point to point.